Hey everybody, this is Wintermute here with Japan 13.1, and we're going to go right into our tech roles. So the first one we're going to do is improve construction. Finally, and that does affect our builds, and then we're going to go with radar. Nope, no radar, but we did get improved construction. So, we get to do things a little differently here. So as it currently stands, improved construction is going to save me $3 based on what I was already building, and then I was saving $2. But I can combine those 3 saved dollars and those 2 I was saving to build an additional submarine. So everything I'm building for this turn. So we're going to start a heavy carrier. We're going to build 4 infantry, 2 militia upgrades, 5 militia, and 3 submarines. And then, right into our combat moves. So from starting with P-52, excuse me, we are going to pick up, let me scoot this up a bit. All right, that should get, let me pull that up a little bit more. That should get most everything I'm going to do right there. Okay, so from P-52, we're going to have this destroyer pick up a Marine, and he's going to move over to P-41 here, the South China Sea, and he is going to drop that Marine off in Hainan, declaring war on China. Yeah. And that's a walk-in, so we'll put that down right now. Then from P-43 to P-32, it's 43 here off of Guam. We are going to take a transport to pick up this Marine and infantry, and he is going to move up to P-32, and he is going to drop them both off in Hunan. And then from P-50 to P-14, we're going to take this transport, and he is going to pick up the Marine in Malaya. Now there is a French sub there, so for argument's sake, we are going to have, out of P-44, we're going to have this battle cruiser and this heavy cruiser go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where they're going to end up, and they're going to escort that transport up that way. And then this guy in P-52 is going to go 1, 2, 3, and basically help escort him through this across this French sub as well, and he's going to end his movement right there in P-41. So just to clarify, from P-52, a heavy cruiser moved up to P-41 to escort this transport, as well as from P-44 ultimately up to P-32. The same thing happened with a battle cruiser and a heavy cruiser and a battle cruiser. And let's see, I'm going to double check something. All right, yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll have to rethink that just a little bit. Something I missed, but that's okay. Not that big of a deal. And then this actual transport is going to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to end in P-14. He's going to pick up a infantry out of Korea, and then drop that infantry and the Marine he's carrying into Shantung. So those are those 2 combats. From P-41, we are going to have, we're going to have this guy pick up this Marine from Anam Tonkin. He's coming out of port. And then he is going to go 1, 2, and then come back. So he's going to move up to P-14, pick up a cavalry, and then come back to P-32, with the fleet there, and he's going to drop off that cavalry and that marine into Nanking. All right, let's see, Nanking. And then from P15 to P32, so P15, so this transport is going to slide over to P14 and then down to P32. And then as he goes through P14, he's going to pick up an infantry and a cavalry, an infantry out of Korea and a cavalry out of Rihe, and he's going to drop them both in Nanking as well. Did I forget something? Oh, I did. From P44, we have one transport with that fleet. He's going to pick up this marine and this artillery. And then he's going to go to P32, and he's going to drop that marine and that artillery off in Nanking as well. And then from P16, we're going to have this destroyer. Oh, he's a bit off the camera there. From P16, we're going to have this destroyer pick up a marine out of Honshu, 1, 2, and he's going to come over and end in P32. And he's also going to drop that marine off in Nanking. All right, I believe that's it for the Nanking ground units. So now, from P15, we're going to have this destroyer move down to P50, and he's actually going to go on escort duty. And the other destroyer in P15 is going to come down here, and he's going to, this fighter in Siam is going to fly out on the map, and they're going to pair up to go after that French sub. From all the way down in Australia, and I'll just tell you this one, I'm not going to fix the camera. The guy from in Northern Territory, in the Northern Territory, is going to walk over to Western Australia to take that as a walk-in. That's a freebie. From over here at India, from I-7 into I-4, we're going to move one sub who's going to raid there. And we've got a raiding sub in I-7 and then the raiding sub in I-12 per the norm. And then those guys... I was going to do something different with them, but I changed my mind. So let me think about that for just a second. Yeah. So we are going to move this, and just to get out of the way, we're going to move this destroyer and this heavy cruiser are going to come up here to P14. And they're going to join that transport there. All right, now we are also going to send from Kyushu a medium bomber into Shantung. And from Kyushu, we're also going to send a medium bomber into Hunan. So one goes into that northernmost territory, one goes into that southernmost territory. And then off of this carrier deck, we're going to fly into Nanking, the tactical bomber and the fighter. And then we're going to send in a couple of shore bombardments as well from this fleet here, and they are ultimately going to get, oh, you know what? We are going to do one more combat movement. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and move this heavy cruiser from P-43 up here to P-32, and he's going to help shore bombard as well. Try to make that fight as clean and simple as possible. Let's see, 1. Yeah. Yep, that's fine. So let's pull the camera down. We will start with our rating here for the Indian line. So we'll start with the regular sub here in I-4. I'm in net +2. Whoops. And that'll get it. You know, I spent all the time setting these dice up, and usually I only ever roll the first set, but I guess it's a good thing. So the FEC loses $1. And then just to reiterate, Hainan was a walk-in. That's the island in off the coast of Kwangtung in the South China Sea. This territory was a walk-in. We have the fighter and the destroyer here against the French sub in P-50. So we have a 6, miss, and a 4. Miss. That's about par. So he gets to shoot back and he hits. Yep, that's pretty standard for me. All right. And while we're here, we're going to have that fighter actually land down in Sumatra. See, that does that, that does that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay. Now, that was the only other combat before I get into China. So, okay, we are going to start here in Hunan, and we're going to pull these pieces down. This is the Southern Territory. So I'm going to use all the shore bombardments I have available are going to go into the city itself. So these are going to be more straight up combats. So against his, there's no terrain penalties. So against his militia, I've got 1 medium bomber, miss, and then a marine and an infantry, both miss. He has a 2, miss, and the medium bomber, that's a hit. And then the marine and the infantry, both miss. And then he gets his 1 return fire, which he misses, fortunately. So Hunan becomes Japanese. You know what? That's what I forgot. Okay. Before I go any further, I'm going to move 1 destroyer. Because, yep, I'm double checking. 1 destroyer is going to go up to P-14. And that gives me 3 surface ships to blockade because that major port in the city straddles those sea zones. So I am fairly confident that's what it has to do because it straddles those sea zones. You need enough ships in both zones to be able to cover it. That will do it for me before I go any further. And that destroyer was already with that fleet in P-32, so he hadn't done anything yet. Okay. Now we will move on to Shantung, which is basically going to be a repeat of Hunan. That's not what I needed. Although I do have one shore bombardment at 2 in this case, because I do have a heavy cruiser up there. So he'll go ahead and take his shot, and he'll miss. And then I have a 7 with the medium bomber, which is a miss, and the Marine and the infantry, both miss. He has his defense, miss, 7, miss, my ground units, miss, and his defense, miss. And then again, the bomber, that's a hit, and my ground units, whoops. Those are both, so I hit with the ground with the bomber, and then his defense, miss. All right. Well, my guys can't find a sub to save their life, but at least they can fight on the ground. All right, now the city itself. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry. I thought he had a militia in there. I'm going to play it safe and put this militia in there. I might have looked at it earlier and thought that that militia was in Nanking when it was actually in Shantung. I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to assume he's got the militia. Okay, and then for shore bombardments, I'm going to have a three twos and a 3. The city is officially surrounded, by the way. So for shore bombardments, here is my 3, miss, and my 3 twos. 1, 2, 3, yep. No hits. And then I'm going to have a tactical bomber, which hits, and a fighter, which hits. Oh, I wish those were reversed. But that's 2 hits so far. And then that is, yep, there's no terrain there, just double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4 twos. That's 1 more hit. So 3 hits total against him. So that's going to be, his defense is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So he's got 1 with the militia, miss, and then he's got 4 3s with the infantry. 1 hit. So I will lose 1 Marine. And then he's going to lose the militia and 2 infantry. Oops, 2 infantry. All right, next round. I have the 7, miss, and the 6, miss. Oh, man. Then I'm going to have 4 3s with the artillery bumping up the infantry. There's 1 more hit, or there's a hit, and then 2 twos. Miss. So he takes 1 hit, unfortunately, and he's got 2 return shots, which both miss. And then the tac bomber and the fighter. The fighter gets it. We're going to finish out rolling, though, just for the sake of argument. I still have 4 3s. That's 2 more hits. So I would have gotten 3 hits total. His defense misses. All right. Well, that could have been a lot worse, so I'm okay with that. So we're going to have the bomber and the fighter land back on the carrier decks. And we're going to have one medium bomber land in Honshu, back in Japan. Let's get this up. Back in Honshu, back in Japan. And then the other medium bomber is going to land in Kyushu. And let's swap that chip out. Okay, and I believe that was it for my attacks. Now, for our purposes, economically, Japan just went up 7, excuse me, because I took the island as well. That puts me at 48. Plus, and then my actual peacetime income increased bonus, or yeah, sorry, peacetime. Wartime income bonuses went up to a total of 12. So that puts me right there on the chart. Okay. Now let's move into non-com, which I've already landed, I believe, all of my planes. So, from Sumatra, we are going to have 1 infantry go across the narrow crossing into British Malay. From British Malay up to Burma, we're going to rail the 2 infantry that are already there. I do have my objective, which gives me 2 rail in that area. Let's see, from Anam Tonkin into Burma, we're going to move an artillery. And this is going to get messy up there, but I'll do a recap. And then from Siam into Burma, we are going to move 2 infantry and 3 artillery. Okay, get that organized just a little bit. There we go. Okay. 41. I think I ended up moving that guy already just to say I did. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And we went ahead and already moved him. Okay, so I don't have a whole lot of non-com. Some of it got absorbed into those combat moves to help cover the subs, or the transports. How do I feel about that? Let me take a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4. In theory, yeah. If you wanted to. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen though, so I'm okay with that. They're okay, they're okay. We're going to go ahead and move 2 cavalry from Rihe over to Korea. In Japan itself, out of Tokyo, we are going to move 1 militia up to Honshu. Yeah. And I believe that was it. Most Most everything else was handled during the actual combat phase. Let me take a quick look at my fleet here. Yep. Sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I'm okay with all that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that wouldn't work. So, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm okay with that as far as non-coms go. So we'll go into place units. So, as far as unit placement goes, we're going to place 1 militia into Hong Kong. We're going to build 2 infantry in Siam. In Siam, we're also going to place 1 of our militia and militia upgrades, so they'll get another infantry there. And then we're going to place a militia upgrade into Burma as well. Let's see. We're going to place 1 militia in British Malaya. We're going to place right, yeah. Okay, we're going to place 1 infantry into Rihi. We're going to place an infantry and a militia into Sydney. And then that leaves 1 militia, which was going to go... Where did I want to place this guy? I forgot. Hong Kong. Wow, I completely... What did I mean to do with this guy? You know what? I think I picked up 1 too many because I put 1 into British Malay, 1 into Hong Kong, 1 into Sydney, and then I swapped out those other 2 guys. I think I might have grabbed 1 too many militia. Maybe got shuffled around somewhere. So, oh no, I know what it was. I know what happened. Yeah, I grabbed 1 too many. We're good. Sorry. All right, everything checks out then. So then we have 3 submarines to place, and we're going to place all 3 submarines into P-15. Actually, let me... 1, 2... Let me think about that for a second. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, P-15. That makes the most sense. Yep, P-15 it is. All right, so those are my units placed. My base income is at 48 bucks. And my wartime bonuses are at 12. So I'm going to collect $60. I will have $60 on hand next turn. So there's also a lot of number crunching and bookkeeping that I'll have to do off camera because obviously all of this, the rest of China aligns and that sort of thing. This should put them at, this should put the KMT at $3 of income because they'll have Kwangtung and they will have Yunnan, and I believe that's it. The Burma Road is currently closed, so they won't get that, and I'll swap out all these pieces in a little bit. I think that was, so there's that bookkeeping. Yep, all right. Scoot that over. So, okay, that'll wrap up my actual turn itself. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a unit where all the units are at so everybody can have their maps lined up. So in I-4, I have 1 submarine. In I-7, 1 coastal sub. I-12, 1 coastal sub. Sumatra has a militia and a fighter. Let's go down here to Australia. Australia has 1 infantry in Western Australia. They have 1 infantry and 1 militia in Sydney. And then Palau proper has 1 militia. The fleet that is there is going to consist of 2 light carriers, 1 with a fighter, 1 with an attack bomber, a fleet carrier with a fighter and attack bomber, 2 battleships, 2 light cruisers, a torpedo boat destroyer, and 4 submarines. Marshall Islands have 4 infantry, and 1 militia. That's still U.S. So Bonin has 1 militia. Iwo Jima has 1 militia. And then we'll kind of work here north. So P-50 has 1 destroyer on escort duty. British Malaya has 1 torpedo boat destroyer in port. It also has a coastal artillery gun, a militia, and an infantry. Siam has 3 infantry and a militia. Cochin China has 1 militia, and Tonkin has a militia. Hainan Island has 1 marine. P-44 has 1 destroyer and 1 heavy cruiser. And then Burma has 7 infantry. 7 infantry, a militia, and then 6 artillery. Hong Kong has a militia. Let me scoot up. Hunan has a marine and an infantry. Shantung has a marine and an infantry. Nanking has 2 cavalry, an artillery, an infantry, and 2 marines. P-32 has a battle cruiser, 3 heavy cruisers, a destroyer, 4 transports, a fleet carrier with a fighter and a tactical bomber. P-14 has a naval transport, 2 destroyers, and a heavy cruiser. P-15 has 3 submarines. Kyushu has 1 medium bomber. Oops. Honshu has 1 militia, 1 marine, 2 infantry, and a medium bomber. Tokyo has 3 infantry, 1 militia, 2 mountain. Hokkaido has 1 infantry. Korea has 2 cavalry, 2 infantry. Rihe has 1 infantry, 1 motorized infantry, a militia, and 2 cavalry. I believe I got everything. Yep. Okay, so yep, again, $60 to spend next turn. And this is Wintermute out.